All right, y'all. So I hope I'm not late on this for anybody that needed it. As I said before, I tend to go through certain things and experience certain things because God needs me to speak on it to help y'all. And so recently, which is okay, so 1 year ago from like yesterday or a few days ago, I had posted a video on TikTok, and it was about witchcraft and eating in your dreams, because at that time I had experienced it, and so I was kind of posting it to let y'all know if you didn't know. And then I literally experienced it the other night. So I had a dream that I was being given coffee to drink, and of course I took the coffee because that day I happened to be craving this particular coffee. So I have a dream about it and I'm drinking it, right? And then all of a sudden I start having this like nightmare, and I'm breathing heavy in the dream, and my heart is racing, and I'm breathing like almost hyperventilating. I come out of sleep and wake up, and in real life I am breathing very hard, and my heart rate is like palpitating, or my heart is palpitating, and I can barely breathe. And I get up, I have this natural supplement that I take for anxiety that calms my heart down after a few minutes if I am having high anxiety or something, right? I take it, but I go sit down to use the bathroom. And as I'm sitting down using the bathroom, I have revelation that, like, oh my God, that coffee. And so the thing is, I can't drink caffeine because it affects my heart. My heart palpitates. I cannot have caffeine anymore, right? It just triggers it. So ironically, I'm fed caffeine in my sleep that now manifests into real life. And so I immediately start praying over myself, right? Mind you, this is happening within like a few minutes. So that medicine didn't have time to kick in that fast, okay? So I'm sitting there and I'm praying over myself. I'm coming out of agreement with any witchcraft that I may have come into agreement with knowingly or unknowingly. I come out of agreement with any form of witchcraft that was fed to me in my sleep. I came out of agreement with that. I, broke it off, came out of agreement with it, cast it down, all of the things. And then my heart was calm. So y'all need to be wary and be careful. If you have a dream that you're eating, okay, and then the next day you don't pray it off of you, and you start to feel like crap physically, you start to feel sick, you start to feel ill, you start to feel weak, tired, however the witchcraft may manifest into your physical body, you need to immediately pray that off. And you also should be praying over your dreams at night and over yourself at night before you go to bed to prevent it from even being able to take place. However, if it does, you need to be sure to immediately wake up and start praying it off of you, coming out of agreement with it, all of the things, because it will manifest. I've had it happen to me several times, okay? There was even one time, this was like last year, okay? I have a dream about peppermint candies being fed to me like candy canes, okay? The next day, I go to get, and I'm fasting, okay? I'm fasting from food. I'm having liquids, but I'm not eating anything. So I get to my coffee shop, I get my peppermint mocha coffee, but it's not, because of the one that I got, I think the lattes came with like peppermint candies on top, but the one that I got, it was the cold brew, was not supposed to come with those on it, right? So again, in the dream the night before, I was being fed peppermint candies. I go to this coffee shop, they weren't supposed to put the peppermint candies on it. I'm fasting, not supposed to eat anyway. And I get my coffee and it has the peppermint candies on it. Had I eaten those peppermint candies, I would have been coming into agreement. That's how simple it is. I would have been coming into agreement with that. And there's no telling what could have manifested from that, right? You have to be very careful. There's times in the past where I've literally had like a cup. It was like a little paper cup, someone feeding it to me, a woman, a female. she was feeding me this paper cup that had like wood chips and like dirt and like earthy things in it and trying to get me to drink it. And there's times when I was forced to eat, like in my dreams, like feces and like stuff like that. And it, when I did, just because, you know, in your sleep, you're in a vulnerable state, very vulnerable state. Um, and sometimes it happens, right? And I would feel it manifest the next day. Like the body aches, the whatever it was, like I would feel it manifest. It's crazy, but y'all really need to be careful with that. Again, pray over your sleep. Pray over yourself. Pray even, I used to do this a long time ago when I was getting heavily attacked in my dreams. Now I had someone pray over me and break those things off of me, and I don't struggle with it anymore. However, I did a few years ago, and I would literally pray before I went to bed, like, God, allow me to be like consciously aware of my surroundings in my dream. That way I can spiritually have like spiritual discernment in my sleep, right? So I'm not as vulnerable, but I have spiritual discernment. That way I can come against those things in my sleep. Like pray even about that. And again, if it happens to happen and you're eating and you wake up, oh my gosh, I had a dream too. This was another time. I've had this one a few times where someone gives me weed to smoke in the dream. And I used to smoke weed. I did for like a really long time. God took the desire away from me, and I started having panic attacks when I smoked. So I just like, I was done a few years ago. But I used to. And there was a few times I had a dream where someone would give it to me. I would smoke it. And then when I would wake up, I would have breathing problems, or I would start having horrible anxiety. So it's like, it's not even just food. It could be anything. So be wary of that, be careful of that, and make sure you're praying over your sleep and before you go to sleep and when you wake up. Coming out of agreement with things, knowingly or unknowingly, even if you don't remember a dream, just wake up and pray that over yourself, because you never know, you know, because that's even a form of witchcraft that can happen in your sleep where you just, your mind is fogged, and then so when you wake up, you don't even remember, right? So just be careful of that. God's having me post this for a reason. So yeah, I pray it gets to who it needs to get to. I will see y'all. I don't know when I'll see y'all again, but those are the videos that I have today to post, and I'll be back whenever the Lord leads me. If y'all feel led to, so as always, my information is there. If y'all just feel led to be a blessing, I appreciate all the seeds that are sown. I appreciate all of you. I pray y'all have a blessed weekend, and I'll see y'all soon. Okay, bye.